My friends, sorry for that delay. This tab popped up. There's nothing more disconcerting than, why is he looking at this? My friends, this is this, this, this cannot be put into any other word or context using your most deeply intellectual and noetic analyses. What we are seeing today, dear friends, remember this. Tell your children about this. We have never seen anything like this. What they do in the news is they give you a little piece of this, little piece of this, little piece of this, but they don't put it together in a mosaic to show you, well, what does all this mean? Where are we going with it? Get ready, dear friends. Get ready and listen, listen, take note, and take what we learned, what you learned today from this incredible chance to review all that's going on. Take this and spread it to your friends. Tell your friends. Tell your friends to join us daily, to follow us here at Lionel Nation. We are family. I've got all my sisters with me. I think Sister Sledge said it best. Let's get down to part. What is happening now, and what is new, and why is it important, and why is it critical, and why is it happening, and what is happening right now? Question number 1, and when you answer the question, don't do like most people answer reflexively. Think about what happens to Biden now. Why is he going to step down now when he has said, "I'm fine"? Does he step down and admit guilt? Does he step down and admit that he lied, that he was duplicitous, that he really isn't okay? Or does he take the high road and say, if I don't have the support of my party and of the great people of this country, Democrats, Republicans alike, it is time for me to move on. Let me remind you of something. We're looking at 41 days until the convention. 41 days and 119 days until the election. 41 days. Do you feel from watching your various cable news outlets, I hope you don't watch this, but do you feel that you are really getting the right news, the right information? I don't think so. Are they really explaining to you what's happening? I don't think so. Are they doing everything in their power to explain to you the various aspects of this? I don't think so. They're just going over this piecemeal. They're just talking about his medical condition and the like. We'll talk We'll talk about it. What it seems to be, what it appears to be, what is happening. This still blows my mind. It is something that I have never seen so far, ladies and gentlemen. I have never seen anything like this. I hope you never think that I'm being deliberately, kind of overly, kind of dramatic. I hope you don't think this is me being dramatic. Because there's nothing dramatic about this at all. It is mind-blowing. You hear what I'm saying? Mind-blowing. And what's also interesting to note, which I say to you, which is so critical, there is let me say something before I forget. Dear friends, dear friends, yesterday in listening to the end of the show, something happened with the microphone, and one of you, in an attempt, I believe, to be funny, was making some reference to what happened to his microphone. It's, the CIA or shutting it down or something like that, and I didn't understand what you were saying because, of course, it was the attempt to be funny. So if this is what it sounds like normally, if for some reason it sounds muted, that means that something is disconnected from using the microphone in the laptop itself. That's all. We have the most bare bones of operation here, as you can tell. As you, let me tell you something. Sometimes the most wonderful things in the world are so. You've had it before, macaroni and cheese. You've loved this. Two things. That's it. All right, let's get down to brass. Let's talk about what they're saying. Before I begin, I would be remiss to say we have Frank, 1957. He's a new member. We have the Brad. The Brad says audio. Let me check the audio again. Thank you. Let me see if this is again. Let me see. This is weird. Your mic is that's interesting. Let me try something here. Let me try. Hey, a 5 by 5. Just give me some kind of a indicator. Thank you for this. I need your love. Does this sound better? Does this sound better? What do you think about this? Nope. Sounds worse? It sounds worse. Interesting, interesting, this is very odd. Hey, better? This sounds better? This should sound better. Good? 5 by 5? 5 by 5? Good. Do we like that? We're doing all right? Sue, Smiling Sue, Emily, Billy Rice, Freddie, Dan, Nathan? No, that was fine. I like that. Wait. Oh, too compressed. It's compressed. I like that, Ian. I like that. It's compressed. Wonderful. Okay, good. It's bad again. I'm just gonna wait until this till you can you check my can you listen to this? I wish I could hear. Is there any way you could turn this on just to hear what it sounds? Because I can't get out of this. It's bad again. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Let me see. It keeps going. It keeps here. Check what to. Katie says Doog. Is that Doog? Is that Doog? Sue, I like it. I'm not a Spitfire says I'm having no issues. I like this. Mrs. L's listening. Something walking on you. You are breaking up. Garbles. Interesting. Doog. There we go. That sounds good to me. It sounds good to me. I'm back. I'm back. There's also a lag. So when you say something now, he's like, that's not good. Takes me a while back. So anyway, it sounds good. I think it sounds fine. I think it sounds fine. All right, here we go. Let's talk about this. This was a piece today that was on from a doctor who is specializing in Parkinson's-like diseases. And he spoke, and I've got a bit of a problem with any doctor who does not involve himself specifically with a patient, who doesn't see the patient. But listen to this, and I'm gonna play this. I don't wanna interrupt it, so it's a little bit long, but not too long. But I want you to listen to this words and listen. Hang on a minute. Let me see something here. Just a second, dear friends. Let me close this. Okay, good. I've got so many things up. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's start off with this. This is the doctor.
Anything that gives you a red flag as a doctor? Oh, yeah, I see him 20 times a day in clinic. I mean, it's ironic because he has just such classic features of neurodegeneration. I mean, word finding difficulties, and that's not, oh, I couldn't find the word. That's from degeneration of the word retrieval area.
He's also overcome stuttering, though. Could that be part of that, too?
No, this is not a palatal issue or a speech discrepancy, which is very different from a lemino dysfunction, actual word retrieval, where you pick a similar question or talk around the issue, plus the rigidity, monotone voice.
Wait, go back to that, the rigidity. What do you mean?
Rigidity, loss of arm swing, standing up lordotically. You notice when he turns, it's kind of end block turning. It's not a quick turn. So that's one of the hallmarks of Parkinson's is rigidity and bradykinesia, slow movement. And he has that hallmark, especially with the low voice that said was a cold, hypophonia. A small monotone voice like this over time is a hallmark of Parkinsonism. I could have diagnosed him from across the mall.
Here are some of the symptoms from Parkinson's. We just had him up there on the screen. If we can put him back. What about the movement? Some people have pointed out the way he walks. Sometimes it's not very fast, small steps. Is that something that is common in people who are battling a disease like Parkinson's?
Yeah, it's a hallmark. Shuffling gait, we call that, so little steps. Loss of arm swing from the rigidity. When we walk, we have a nice cadence. You notice he doesn't really swing his arms. And end block turning, meaning he kind of pivots around his foot. If you said, hey, President Biden, he wouldn't go like this. So, yeah.
But I also know, and tell me if I'm wrong here, it's very hard to diagnose Parkinson's, isn't it? It's not simple. I mean, I've heard that it can be.
It's one of the easier movement disorders to diagnose, actually.
Right,
but it's so clinic. There's very little other. And I'm a Democrat. I always say about this.
Right.
It's just like this guy is not a hard case.
But I've had relatives who have gone through neurological issues, and I've heard that sometimes Parkinson's is not very easy to nail. You have to take a lot of tests.
It's early on. If you're just presented with like hallucinations, that could be a variety of things, or just the cognitive problems. That could be Alzheimer's versus Parkinsonism, and that becomes a little nebulous. But once you start manifesting the hallmark motor symptoms,
right?
Slow movement, rigidity, mass facies, hypophonia. I mean, if a med student did not pick Parkinson's on the test, they'd be remediated.
So let me ask you, you're a Democrat, you're a doctor. You sound like you're frustrated with what the White House is saying.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because, I'm an American before everything. And I look at it and say, when I used to see Russia, Soviet Union, North Korea, when they just make outrageous things, like when North Korea can't keep the lights on and they say, oh, it was some faulty power thing. I kind of hate that kind of stuff. They had 4 years. My own party had 4 years to find, this was a wreck in slow motion. And they had 4 years.
You hearing this?
To find out of 350 Americans, one person that could take the place. And here we are the day before school trying to do the homework and replace a guy who's got a neurodegenerative disease.
Dr. Pitt.
I don't like this guy. I see so many. First of all, I'm not an expert in this. His affect, his attitude, the way he spoke, his attitude, I don't like it. He's trying to. There's so much. Now, I'm not an expert in this. He's talking more about you and others, and we have been talking more about dementia, not motor problems. There's something wrong with him. He also saying, does he seem like the typical doctor to you? I'm just asking you, what do you think, class? What's your take? There's something I don't like about this. And I don't know how a doctor, he's never spoken to anybody. He just watched. Now I've got a picture, a little bit of him on Morning Joe. I think Joe sounded terrific. Much better. There's a difference between dementia and somebody who has Parkinson's. Parkinson's people, like, for example, Michael J. Fox does not have dementia, as far as we know. There's Parkinson's dementia. That's a different story altogether. There's something about him. I don't know. And I'm not going to find anybody who says, see, there's something wrong with Biden. So therefore, I'm going to be 100% for that person merely because he's saying something I want to hear, because we don't want to hear this. I want to hear he's fine. He's fine. Did you hear the attitude about I don't know, looks pretty good to me. dystonia, it's easy. I mean, anybody should know that. Is it? Okay. I'm just saying. Remember, we don't want him to leave. We don't want him to leave. We love him. He's a good man. Thank you, Assunta Madone. Lynn's Warriors is formidable. Indeed. Brad Rung says, is Trump picking Rubio today? Don't know. Don't know about this. I do not know. I don't know. We can sit around and play that game, and I don't know what to tell you. You heard what I said. I think Ben Carson will be the best. Marco Rubio, after he attacked him for so what, honey? Yeah, campaign. Did you? I don't know. Whatever. Don't worry about that. That's not important. That's just like trivia. Don't worry about that. Here is the question, which is the most funny. Remember, what am I pointing to? The end of the Democratic Party, the end of mainstream legacy media, and how people ultimately might very well be held accountable. Let me ask you something. There's something called misprision. Misprision is when you do not report something that you know to be occurring. Do you understand that? Something where you do not report something that has happened in systems very simple. For example, if you're a physician, if you're a nurse, if you're a teacher, and you see evidence of sexual abuse and you don't report this, you are a reporter and you have an affirmative duty to do so. Misprision is different. I submit to you that when somebody actively, knowingly, deliberately lies in the capacity of their job, not to gloss over, not to embellish something, the law provides great leeway for you to be able to embellish, to really lay it on thick. We have the best pizza. You've tried the rest. Now try the best, the greatest, we have the most beautiful, the great. Okay, that's called puffery. Then when you are a spokesperson, you're trying to convey to the world that which this person is trying to convey. A lawyer cannot suborn perjury, cannot lie, but a lawyer can represent what people are claiming. That's a big problem I have with Rudy Giuliani being disbarred. Liz Solak, there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that thumbnail. Huh? When can they invoke the 25th Amendment? Lizzie, forget the 25th Amendment. Just forget it. Put it out of your mind. Why? 41 days to go until just the convention. It takes forever. Sorry about that, JR. It takes forever. It happened. Just forget it. The process is slow. The majority of the cabinet, he then responds. They say, I think we should do it. He says, no, I don't. Then you got to go back and forth. It's the worst. Impeachment is smaller. Watch it, Jonathan. They're watching you, my friends. They're watching you. Don't say it's about me. It's you, Johnny. It's you. You got that? Okay. Now listen to what I'm saying. It's just forget about it. It's just there's no time. Yet Mike Johnson throws this out today. It's ridiculous. They have to issue a document to the president pro tem and then the Speaker of the House, and then they have to respond. And you got to have the hearing with the 14 days. No. And then you're going to say, well, what do you? No, it's not going to happen. It's the worst. Impeachment and conviction would be better. No, they're not going to do that. That's not going to happen at all. The only thing they have believe it or not, is to threaten him. Is to threaten him. Now, my friends, let me show you a couple other things I've got here. Since I had to reboot this, I had all of my beautiful stuff lined up so perfectly. This is Karine Jean-Pierre. When asked you may have heard this before, when asked a critical question by Peter Doocy, listen to this beaut.
The president that I see every day, including yesterday.
Pardon me. This is not. You must forgive me. I had all of my beautiful, beautiful spots. And then when I cleared it, it's a long story. This is John Kirby, who is a consummate liar. This man takes lying to a level of an art form. In my mind, he could be, in my opinion, criminally and civilly liable for not only suborning perjury and perjuring himself, but saying things that frankly just aren't true. Here he is lying about the condition of your president.
The president that I see every day, including yesterday a couple of times in the Oval Office, is robust. He's lucid. He's clear. He's direct. And he's in command of the context and the information. I mean, he was asking me questions yesterday about events in Europe that I simply didn't have the answers for. I had to go back and
because they were gibberish
and come back to him with some answers. I mean, that's the president that I see every day. That's the commander in chief that I've been serving the last 2.5 years.
You lying sack you liar. Absolute, consummate liar. It's disgusting. Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Shields says, if they 25th Biden, then Harris is president, then Trump and Harris debate. Nathan, thank you. If they were to 25 him, as you so interestingly refer to it, then Kamala Harris is the acting president. An acting president. She's not the president. She's not the incumbent. She goes into she's not, I mean, most people won't be able to tell the difference, but this is what John Tyler was talking about in 1841. You don't want me to go through the process again. You act like it, not like you, but it's like that. It's forever. They introduce a document, a written declaration, the vice president and the majority of the cabinet, 50 members, I think, and the attorney general, the majority putting their name on the line. Then they take that document and submit it to the president pro tem, Patty Murray, and Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Then the president has a chance to rebut that, to say, no. No, sorry. Then you have, it's not merely they decide and that's it. No, the president fires back, so to speak. That's what it is. So just do me a favor. Trust me on this one. It can happen. It's political death. Trump is loving it. Trump is saying, no, please go, do it. Trump's sitting back. Have you noticed? They're just waiting. They're just sitting around. Nathan Shields says, I know it was a joke. Let me tell you something. You, my friend, have a gift. You have a gift not only of being funny, but being pertinent. Don't ever abuse it, my friend. Don't ever abuse it. But others are talking about it but to be honest with you, it's a front page of Drudge. They're talking about the 25th. It's not going to happen. It's ridiculous. I like if Biden were to introduce a document on his own and says, you know what? I'm going to, sit this one out. I'm unable. And then he issues another document, but I'm able now. And then I'm not. But I'm able now. He can do this all day long. He can do it 25, 30 times a day. He says, listen, I'm going to be going to the men's room for a while for the John. I'll be out for a while. I'm not going to be unavailable. Here it is. And you can be acting president. And then you're not. It's not going to happen. Now, let's go back to this, my friends. Let's go back and look at this one right here. This is most interesting. Shall we? This is most interesting. Let's look at this one. Now, I don't know which one this is, so please forgive me. Let's see what this is. I don't know. It's kind of like
been tested for any
Oh, this is wonderful. Yes, this is when the president was on Joe and Meager. I think there's trouble in River City there. That's me. That's what I'm hearing. But anyway, and Joe is apparently doing this from either the bathroom or someplace that's very cavernous. Very, very cavernous. They could have set him up very easily. Little desk, had a little microphone, little something. You could have been sound engineers. You could have said, less processing. You could have told him what? You could have used terms that don't exist in audio engineering, but that's okay. But listen to how, and now, seriously, listen to how good Biden sounds and how Joe Scarborough is looking at his wife like, why don't you shut up? Look at the look at his face. Can you see that? Why don't you shut up? Okay, listen to this.
You've been tested for any age-related illnesses,
AIDS.
Parkinson's, or anything like that. That might explain sort of having a night like that where you couldn't finish sentences.
Look,
It's that echo.
I had before, I was feeling so badly before the debate. When I came back, they tested me for, I thought maybe I had COVID, maybe there was something wrong. I had an infection or something.
We're not, Joe. We're not talking about COVID. Joe's trying to say, no, you don't understand. That's just, see, when I have a bad night, when I'm a little off, I sound like I'm in the middle of surgery and anesthesia. That's the way I am. See?
They tested me. They gave me those tests. I was clear. So, but look, I had a bad night. But the fact of the matter is, look at what I'm doing. I mean, let me put it this way. If there was something that was wrong that night, it's not like it comes and that's one night and it goes away. That's why I've been out. I've been testing myself. Been testing everywhere I go.
Okay.
Going out and making the case.
What?
The night of that debate.
Listen to this. This is a good one.
I was out till 2 o'clock in the morning that very night.
I was
That
incoherent.
very night. It drives me nuts, people talking about this. That very night, I'm talking to large crowds.
I haven't
Look at the
done that.
crowds We've gathered everywhere from Atlanta to North Carolina to Pennsylvania. And look at the enthusiasm. But it was right after.
Enthusiasm.
Where's Trump been? What has Trump said or done?
What has Trump? Who does this Trump? Can Trump get near me in terms of appearing before people? Has Trump ever drawn a crowd? I don't think so. Que cojones? Pilgrim says, my liberal family are livid. I'm staying silent. That's right, Pilgrim. You just say, I know. I know. I know. I know. Daniel says, call Dr. Leo Marvin. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Stan Lippman, ladies and gentlemen, says, Stan says, poll shows Clinton Harris beating Trump. Now, you do know that that is a joke, right? Stan, you do know this, right? Are you talking about the Ben Dixon poll? Stan, you, with all of your years in politics, you're saying the poll shows. Stan, have you looked at any of the specifics regarding that poll? Stan, have you? Have you looked at the who exactly who was being polled, as it were? Did you? Did you see whether these are likely voters, whether these are adults? Did you get a load of that? Stan, did you get a load of that? Tell me, Stan, because I know you're a smart guy. Tell me you're not going to believe a poll that says right now, think about this. Now, think about this. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear this. A poll that says Donald Trump against, listen to me, against Kamala Harris. Is this in swing states, electoral votes, critical states, popular vote, likely voters, adults, people in a mall? How many believe this? Or it's tight. How many people say Hillary Clinton would beat would beat Trump? Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton. I would believe the Kamala first because she's kind of like unknown, and Hillary's been around forever. Hillary is dead on arrival. And I'm not saying this because I don't like her. There are some who might give Trump a very serious run for his money, but they're not in this. Do you seriously believe, do you know these polls? Do you want me to go back and tell you all the polls, all these Rasmussens and Quinnipiacs and ABC and the Wall Street and the Harvard? Do you know how many polls there are? Polls now. This is one of those stories where you have to ask yourself, is it likely voters? Let me see the sample size. Or did somebody say, put this story out? Drudge, will you print it? Absolutely. And where is Matt Drudge? Is he alive? Has anybody physically seen Matt Drudge with the hat? Is Matt Drudge alive? I'm dead serious. Interesting pun there. Let's go back to again, I don't know what I had. I had them so beautifully arranged and lined up for your edification. Let's see what this one is, shall we? Let's see what this one is.
All right, Allie, you also are breaking some...
Oh, this is great. This is great. This is wonderful. This only is, do me a favor, look at her eyes. I don't know who this is. Bless her heart. I don't like to normally just make fun of, I'm not making fun. I'm not making fun, but I love expressions. Look at her eyes. Look. There's something called, have you heard about this? Sanpaku. Have you heard about this? Sanpaku. Sanpaku is a Japanese face reading term that refers to when the whites of the eyes or the sclera are visible above or below the iris. And they say these are somehow indicative of psychopathy, physiological, psychological turmoil. Anyway, Michael Jackson had this. OAC has it. This is called Sanpaku. Imagine going to a doctor and she looks at your results, and this is the look you get. This is the look. This is not good news. Now, bless her heart, she's probably doing a great job. But when I saw this, I was mesmerized. I used to work with some people, one in particular, who always looked like she was watching an autopsy or something for the first time. There was another one too, a fellow who, when he was listening to interviews, he would look at people. Imagine this expression. Like somebody was saying something terrible about your mother, or somebody claimed that your mother was a trollop on a Greek galley ship. His expression was like this. This was on a news show. They're talking about, well, today, alternate side parking. Everything was like, what? Anyway, let's watch these eyes. I'm fascinated by this.
All right, Allie, you also are breaking some news today.
Allie,
This
okay.
story about Nikki Haley ahead of the RNC convention. What are you learning?
Look, the fact that Nikki Haley, and I think this has been an open question here, what role will she play in the convention? What role does she play in the Republican Party?
Nikki Haley's thinking, what? What does she know that I don't know? Who is? Look at this. Bang! Nikki Haley. What? I would have her just always be the person on my Ed McMahon. What? Are you what?
Party writ large now as the last remaining person to challenge Trump during the primary. Certainly now we're learning that Haley has said she's releasing all of her 97 delegates earned over the length of that primary, some of them from states that voted after she dropped her bid. But we're also hearing from her spokesperson that Haley is not invited to the Republican convention. This even as she drops her delegates and urges them to unite behind former former President Donald Trump. I do think it's a notable and stark contrast. Haley, of course, was critical of Trump during that primary.
You can
That's
say that
basically
again.
how it goes when you're challenging anyone
Come on,
for
see
the
your
same
eyes
job.
again. I don't care
The
about
two
this.
politicians have spoken by the phone over the
See
course
the
of the last
eyes.
few weeks. We learned that
Fine.
recently.
Yeah,
Doesn't seem like that phone call necessarily
Okay.
healed any of
Fine,
the bad
fine.
blood between them, specifically
Here we go.
because as Cheney Denton,
Oh.
Haley's longtime spokesperson, said to me, she's not invited and Trump is entitled to have the convention that he
Okay.
wants.
Here we go.
Haley, in Cheney's words, is fine with not being there, but it's
I
again a
love this.
moment where she's preaching unity, but will not be at the
Who is she?
convention to underscore the need for
Allie?
that, even as her delegates are now free to go for Trump.
Who is she? Isn't this? Let's get her name again. This is just, look at this right off the bat. Right off the bat. Don't you? I'm sorry. I think
All right, Allie, you also are breaking some news.
Allie. Somebody find out who Allie is. Alley Oop, Alibaba, Ali Sheedy. In any event. Love that. Yeah, dry eye. You better have some drops around there. Some of that stuff. It just. I'm sorry. It just kills me. It just fascinates me. Okay. All right. Pardon me. Wouldn't that be good? Pardon me, Allie. I'll give you something to stare at. Ladies and gentlemen, hang on a minute. Nathan Shields says, I am sorry. That's so funny. Why would they put that lady on TV? Because she's doing a good job. She's very smart. Listen, I would watch her. I'm going to go look for her. Somebody do some research. Can we find out what her name is? Allie Oop, Ali Baba, Ali Sheedy. I'm doing my jokes again. Somebody find out who she is. I cannot tell you how many people I've known who had that thing. Okay. Notice how quickly we find out who she is. Come on. Ali Vitale. Now, I don't know if that's true. Could be. I don't know. All right, my friends. How do you find out who Allie is for me? I don't trust these people. They're all a bunch of smart asses. You okay there? Okay. I think she saw Allie's picture and freaked out. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what this one is.
Integrity.
Oh, here we go. This is beautiful. This is great. This is great. Oh my God, I love this one. This is fantastic. This is when he was introducing Jens Stoltenberg, the head of NATO, who he's just watch what Joe does. He doesn't take his eye off the teleprompter. He looks at the teleprompter, and Jens is over here, and he says, "Come on over here. That's a great man. That's terrific." And Jens, "Come on, Jens." And he comes up. He says, "Okay." And then anyway, just watch this man, who, by the way, stayed up till 2 a.m.
He's a man of integrity and intellectual rigor.
Here we go. See? Keeps his eye on the
Calm
prompter.
temperament, moment of crisis.
Yeah. Back to
Consummate
the
diplomat.
Look at Jens. Okay, I'll go back over here, Joe. You don't mean Joe? Yeah. Okay, Joe. Thanks, buddy. All right, Tiger. Let's see who this one is here. I'm so sorry to pull these like pot luck here, but
well, he also said
this is the best. Oh God, I love this. This was terrific. This was great. Peter Ducey, this woman must, bless her heart, Karine Jean-Pierre must be backstage just pounding him before the show. Like, I cannot do this shit. I cannot do this anymore. The lying. They ask me these questions. I'm supposed to be honorable. And this wig is killing me. The elastic is killing me. I can't. Isn't there something easier? It's like I'm wearing a bathing cap that doesn't fit. I'm so tired of this. Can't you bring that guy out with a dress? I never signed up for this. Nobody's going to remember me as well. Oh, wasn't she great? She drew in her job. I can't answer a question without my book. I don't know what the hell's going on here. This is the worst job in the world. They hate me. I look like a fool. I've got a fool for a boss. I'm going to go down in history. And the fact that SNL hasn't mocked her, they're just dying to do a character. Dying. But they can't. So anyway, Pete Ducey says, you say he's good until 8 o'clock? Well, what happens if something bad happens at 8 o'clock. Dig this.
Well, he also said he's sharpest before 8 p.m. So, say that the Pentagon at some point picks up an incoming nuke. It's 11 p.m.
Now, by the way, two things. I'm sorry. She goes through her book for two reasons. Nervous habit, and she doesn't know what the hell she's doing. Nervous habit. She's going through the book. I don't know what's going on. Or she does this thing where she does the and as you know, she goes through the book when she says, I don't want to look at you. You make me sick. And also hoping maybe there's an answer to this, maybe on one of the pages. Normally, when Kayleigh McEnany, when she was in there, when even Jen Psaki, they bring out the book at first, and then they lose the book. They get into it. Not her. No, not KJP. No. She loves that book. So let's go back to this great question.
Well, he also said he's sharpest before 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So, say that the Pentagon at some point picks up an incoming nuke. It's 11 p.m. Who do you call? The First Lady?
He has a team that lets him know of any news that is pertinent and important to the American people. He has someone that is decided, obviously, with his National Security Council on who gets to tell him that news.
A team. By the way, it's Ali Vitale. You are correct. It's Ali Vitale. Ali Vitale, my favorite. Dig this.
Important to the American people. He has someone that is decided, obviously, with his National Security Council on who gets to tell him that news.
Yeah, he's the same. Somebody who'll tell him, Joe. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, listen. There's I don't know how to say this, but we don't have a lot of time. There seems to be a Pyongyang apparently has fired off what appears to be a hypersonic missile, and we've got a couple of minutes. So I know. That's what I said. But you have any idea? Anybody we should talk to? Anybody in your team? Anybody in your team we can talk to? Now, let me see if there's one more here. I think that did it. Yep, that's it. Okay, now let's get to the good part here. Now, this is what I'm going to tell the president. Now we're going to get into the dark part of this. This is the part that you don't want to hear, but I'm going to tell you about it nonetheless. Okay, you got this? Listen to me carefully. Edie Crowley, by the way, says she could almost pass for the sociopathic stare. Indeed, or just that. Ali Vitale, I like her. I think she does a damn good job. And she even used the term writ large. Writ large. Remember writ? Did you ever use writ dye? Did your mother ever use writ dye? Like she wanted to dye something. It's like, who the hell wants to dye something? Just got a new one. No, let's dye that t-shirt. Let's use writ. All right. They are going to unload on Trump so hard. What do you think they're going to do? Tell me now. You're on Trump's team. What do? They're going to bring up stuff from that guy. Remember that fellow? That fellow who was dispatched in his cell? Remember him? Remember that dude? Remember that feller? Remember him? Yep. They're going to say all kinds of stuff. Where do you think that stuff is? What do you think is going to happen? I'm not even going to bring this up. But I'm going to try to do, but I'm going to do this very, very peripherally, very elliptically, very. In 2016 or so, there was somebody who claimed to have had an untoward occasion while she was rather young with the greatest president in my lifetime. And who was her lawyer? Lisa Bloom. Remember Lisa Bloom? Lisa Bloom. And Lisa Bloom is Gloria Allred's daughter. Remember Gloria Allred? Remember her? And Lisa Bloom was completely trashed because Harvey Weinstein hired her to theoretically trash potential victims or whatever. Anyway, she's off the radar. She's just gone. Off, through, finished, done. She's like in that Avenatti school of jurisprudence, just like here today, gone, just through. Now they're going to now claim, and here's the thing. Why do I say this? I say this because if you look, Ali Vitale, I don't like that. Ali Vitale. It's a good sound to it. It's rhythmic, as are you, my friends. Here we go. I'm reading this. Oh, Trump's pictures, quote, all over this person's files, claims the Dems. This is according to Daily Express. And they claim that they have all the, and they're throwing all these, who is it? U.S. Representative Ted Lieu has claimed that Trump's pictures are all over these released files. And he said, something I've heard that doesn't seem to be covered are the person's name file. These files were released. Trump is sort of all over this. There are pictures of him and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, number one, how does a president handle this? How does a president handle this? Who do you think has all of these, not files, but the good pictures? Who do you think? Who do you think? Think about this. Anybody? Anybody know? Anybody? Well, this is one of the weird things. If you look at these names, Noam Chomsky, Ehud Barak. I'm reading the Times of Israel. What do you think would be the possibility? What do you think would be? What do you think? What do you think would be? What do you think would be the possibility? What do you think? Just spitballing, just saying, what do you think would be the possibility that the people who actually are in possession of either the hard drives, the files, or copies thereof might be a certain intelligence agency that Ehud Barak might have some kind of connection with? I'm just saying. Epstein, Ehud Barak, what do you say? Wexner, all these folks, what do you say about that? Now, this is just thinking back. This is just thinking out loud. What do you think? What do you think? And you know that Trump has been exceedingly favorable, positive to this particular, these folks. And one would think any security agencies attended there too. Do you think that maybe somebody might put the message out? Don't think about going there. We like Trump a lot. Don't think about going there, Ted, or anybody. Don't. What do you mean? Let me just say this again. Don't think about going there. There's a lot of stuff out there that would surprise the heck out of you. You sure you want to do that? This is classic. Remember what I told you? The two biggest industries in the world right now, very, very simple, is blackmail and extortion and human trafficking. Ladies and gentlemen, Clonopin Dream Killer, just kidding. Clone as Steve says, if they had pictures from you-know-who's with Trump and without high-ranking Dems, they would have dropped them forever ago. This is mutually assured destruction. Yes. Yes. And by the way, I'm curious what you as a physician think about this doctor going on TV and talking about diagnosing somebody when you never even talked to him. Who would ever go to a doctor and say, hey, listen, doc, yeah, listen, I think my grandfather's got Alzheimer's or whatever. I'm going to send you some videos of him. What do you think? You say, no, I want to talk to him. No, can I just send you some? This is him. This is his YouTube channel. No, I want to talk. Anyway. Now, what does Trump do? What does Trump do? What does he do? How does he handle this? First of all, this is the classic case of this is when you do something called the deliberate, preemptive, limited hangout. Should have done this a long time ago, and you do it now. And it goes like this. Folks, they're getting desperate. They're getting desperate. They are gonna come at me with stuff you ain't gonna believe. I can't even imagine. Thank you, Buddha. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for that. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. A good man indeed. They're gonna come at me like you can't believe. They're going to claim I was with this one. I kidnapped the Lindbergh baby. I shot JR. You name it. So get ready. What is that? That's the limited hangout. I tell you about something without being too specific. He might want to. And as far as this person goes, well, let me tell you about this person and why I fired this person and got rid of this person from my country club when I found out that he was bothering women who wanted to be masseuses and that sort of thing. Oh, no. So listen, I got no problem with that. This guy was a New York society leech. Okay. You know how many friends knew Charlie Rose? Charlie Rose was a perv and a leech too. Matt Lauer, you want to talk about him? How about half of New York society? How about you want to go down the list? How many people on Fox News? How many people on Fox News were fired or let go or were sued because of creepy stuff with coworkers? My favorite is sending people pictures of. Please explain that one to me. It's like Wiener. Pardon the expression. Oh, I don't want to meet you. No, I just want to send you a picture and imagine what you're thinking when you see it, because I'm a freak. Remember that? I don't get that one. I don't get the whole thing, the whole Anthony Weiner thing. I never got that one. It's like, well, did you ever meet this woman? No. You never met her? You couldn't pick her out of a lineup. I don't even know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to, I think. So you're sending pictures. What is the matter with you? If you're going to have an affair, have an affair. Oh, no. I don't want to do that because these people are creeps. They don't want to get near women. They're afraid of women. They're terrified of women. They want to scare them. They want to be in control, and that's as much as close as they're going to get to it. Like the flasher who wants to see your look. They want to be in control. This is like, they tend to be harmless. Seriously. Now, they can escalate. I never understood any of that stuff. I love this. New York Frank says, our last chance. I don't know what the hell that means. But as Ali Vitali would say, when your proctologist has a hangnail. All right, just kidding. So anyway, so what Trump has to do is he has to do a limited, kind of a preemptive, I hope he does, limited hangout. Say, get ready. Get ready. Get ready, folks. Here it comes. Let's see. So far, they got me on E. Jean Carroll from what, 1980? Who was president then? I don't even remember. I don't even remember her. I don't remember her. Okay, fine. Then they got me on this stupid case nobody understands with Judge Engeron and Tish James. I don't even know what the hell that's all about. I don't know what that's about. Then they got me on 4 criminal cases. And they're going to go, I hope, bye-bye, up to and including Fannie Willis, Fannie and Numbnuts, the garage door lover boy, Nathan, We've got Jack Smith, who is weird. This weirdo with the purple cape from I don't know where, the planet Zoltan. He's coming in. They're going to kick his case, the J6 and the Mar-a-Lago case. And then we've got this piece of garbage here where Judge Mershon says, I think we might want to put that sentencing off. Yeah, that's a good idea. Why? I don't know, this immunity case. And also, this seems to help Trump. So Trump comes forward and says, so listen, so would you be surprised if they said they got me with a goat or a woodchuck or something? Come on. And then when they do say, no, President, what about this? You're kidding me, right? You're going to pull that? You think that's me? Do you want me to believe that? No, Mr. President. These are from the files. Would you stop that? The files. Get the hell out of here. Pete Obi-Wan Kenobi, OU812 says, Lionel, I think when the election is over, we should all go to McSorley's for a few beers. You know what? I think you're right. Have nothing but ales, and that we can look at the chicken bones that I think are still hanging there. McSorley's Ale House is the old, I think it is maybe Francis Tavern might be the oldest, but it is the oldest bar, and they have chicken bones, I think from World War I, that are still, when these young men left, they had them on the string, and they have like liverwurst sandwiches, 2 kinds of ale. It's funky. Very, very funky. Some old bars. There's a landmark here in Hell's Kitchen since I think right around the Civil War. A lot of good dive bars. Ladies and gentlemen, Georgia Ditch Doctor. Thank you, Georgia Ditch Doctor. So anyway, so that's what they're going to do with that. So Trump's got to let people know right off the way, right off the bat. They can say, get ready for this, my friends. I mean, they're freaking out. And whatever they show them, they say, no, that's you. Boy, this AI stuff is really good. What? That's you and a duck. Oh, come on. What is it, a mallard? That's not my type. I'm more of a Drake, not the rapper guy. Trump's got to say, get ready. It's a limited hangout. You put something, or maybe you could volunteer something, but this is almost like a preemptive. Oh, get ready. Oh, they're going nuts. They're going crazy because the last thing they would ever want to do is come up with any ideas, to maybe help the country, maybe help you, maybe plan something for us. God forbid they would ever do that, these rat bastards. They want to come after me. This is what they want to do. This is the most incredible story in the world. This is the most incredible story. Do you now, when you talk to friends of yours, you have to be able to tell them, listen, they say, I had a friend of mine last night. Well, I've known him forever. And he says, tell me, Biden is, And I said, what happened? What happened to your party? Say what you want. You may not like him, but Barack Obama was a damn formidable candidate. This guy could speak, and like Joe Biden says, he's clean, man. He's clean, whatever that means. He's clean, and he could speak, and he was good, damn good, real good, great. Bill Clinton, consummate politician, and then I don't know what happened. Things kind of went for a while. Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris? Is there anyone who really likes Kamala Harris? And do you believe, yes or no? Tell me yes or no. Do you believe, yes or no, that there are polls that she could beat Donald Trump? Wait until the first debate. Why do I say that? Good question. Why do I say first debate? Let me tell you. Edie Crowley says, listen to this. Just a reminder, please support Mrs. Ellen and watch Lynn's Warriors. Very important info in regards to children. She needs your views and shares. Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Edie. Oh, also, you should see the Red Roof Inn. Have you seen this? The stuff she hears right now will make you sick because nobody's talking about kids during this. But let me just finish this one thought. And thank you, Edie, very much. You're right. You're a dear, dear, dear friend. And I mean that sincerely. Pilgrim Media, by the way, says, does this secret agency speak Yiddish? Does the Pope, whatever? Now, let me tell you something. I mean, everybody knows that. The number one bit, is the whole notion of getting dirt on people. When you've got Epstein, Les Wexner, Ehud Barak, hello. And who was his attorney for a while? A great friend of it, Dershowitz. Do you think, would it surprise you? I mean, what do you need? How many crumbs? Do you need the whole loaf when you see, I got a half a piece of bread here. This is rye bread. You have the loaf? I don't need the loaf. I can read it. Come on. This is something, and that dude who brought this up, he better know what he's talking about. You better not have. Do you know how many congressmen all of a sudden left because of that quote? Those pictures under the door that materialized. They call it the pictures under the door. Very interesting. The pictures under the door. Very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Now, let's talk about some things. This is very, very critical. Very, very critical and very, very important. The debate. There has to be another debate. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to clasp your hands together. And I want you to look up. And I want you to look to the heavens. And I want you to ask whoever is in charge of this world to please, we beg you, give us another debate. Please give us another Joe Biden, Donald Trump debate. Can you imagine how many people will watch that? Do you have any idea? Do you have any earthly idea what will happen? Any. Do you have any idea of what will happen? My God. Can you there won't be anybody available on the street. Crime will drop. Nobody will be out on the street. Everybody will be looking at a phone. People who don't even know anything about this. Vince McMahon, the late Vince McMahon, professionally that is, nothing will compare to this. Nothing, as Sinead O'Connor said. Nothing. You will look at this and he will come out and Trump will sit back. And second to that, no correction. Maybe even better than that. Maybe even better, if there's something even better than that. It's hard to believe. But maybe even better than that would be Trump debating, and I use that term loosely, Trump debating. Now think about this. Trump debating Kamala Harris. Just imagine. Please use your head. Use these noetic, imagine these wonderful. Imagine what it will be for this woman who says things like the past of what is undone, whatever that phrase is. Anyway, the phrase, the bank, the community bank is part of the community. And imagine these two together. I will need some type of anxiolytic or some type of sedation because I'll lose my mind. Clonopin Dream Killer, Clone is Steve, says diagnosing over video is a great way to get sanctioned and marginalized in the professional community. Totally unacceptable. Oh, I'm with you. And also his attitude with it, that's easy. Well, I understand this is easy. Oh, no, it's easy. In fact, any med student. And by the way, doctor, don't you think he kind of just got away from the dementia part of it? He just stuck instead with this notion of whatever, Parkinson, because of the stiffness and the actual neuromuscular aspect to it. Georgia Ditch Doctor says, I want to know one thing. While the president's hiding his own Easter eggs, who's got the keys to the candles, the nukes? Love you and Mrs. L. Fully supporting helping kids. Thank you, Ditch Doctor. That is the most important question in the world. Who's in charge of the candles, as you say? Who can light them up? You are going to see a tactical nuclear weapon deployed, I think, very soon. I'm dead serious. World War III cancels. Would World War III cancel the election? Well, there will not be World War III. World War III is absolutely out of the question. Okay? Let me see. The rest of the world is, let me see. There is a group that is meeting, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the Eurasian Security Club, is one of the biggest deals ever. It is just as an example, and Trump would be fantastic at this. Shanghai Cooperation countries. Nothing was covered by this. Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Ready for this? The countries that are involved. There's the Shanghai Five. Let me see. We've got Belarus, China, India, Iran, Kazakhstan, all the stands, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan, Russia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Mongolia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Cambodia, Egypt. There's dialogue partners. There's guest attendees. It is the biggest, scariest thing that is happening, and it's not covered by anybody in the mainstream media. None. Nobody. Nobody's covering it. None. This is something nobody really grasps. And I want you to do yourself a favor. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to ask any of your friends, next time you're out at lunch or you're talking to somebody, say, hey, Dave, let me ask you something. What's BRICS? I saw this on TV. You would know this because you watch news. BRICS, BRICS. What is this? I saw it. What is it? How many people do you think would know what BRICS is? This Shanghai, this cooperation organization, this is bigger than anything anybody's ever even seen. This is huge. There was a great interview with one of my favorites, Pepe Escobar, was on with Judge Napolitano. Fantastic. Just explaining the enormity of this and how this country and this president, as we're looking like fools regarding this, it's unbelievable. Clonopin Dream Killer says, what needs to be asked is, has VD undergone the battery of tests that moves idiopathic dementia signs along the tree of differential diagnoses? Oh, I love that, idiopathic. Well, you don't really know. I like words like that and nosocomial. When you get sick in the hospital, that's my favorite. Judas, thank you, by the way. Judas Go Barbecue says, as I recall, Kamala did not do too well against Pence. So going against DJT would be the winner, quote, writ large, using the Ali Vitali way of school. Hit that like button. Thank you for this. Trump could do one of the greatest performances ever by not saying anything. Let me just explain this. By not saying anything. He doesn't have to say anything. He can just look at her like, are you kidding me? What? You know, one of those, what? Huh? You want to what? Excuse me. You want to what? Unbelievable. By the way, brand new. Brand new for you. I hope you recognize that to all of our friends, all of our Lionel members, you get these videos early as they are conceived. This is why Joe Biden is not leaving. So let's go back to this. Let's go back because we've been all over the place. And by the way, check out that picture of Lizzie Solak. What's that picture? Where was that from? That's interesting. Very interesting. Because I don't ever see, I can't see thumbnails unless we blow it up. I don't, Sparky, I didn't know that was a dog until, fairly recent. But what is that thing? I thought it was, I didn't know what it was because I don't have a big screen here. We're kind of low key. Okay. You got that one? Okay, fine. Now, let's go through this very carefully. Listen to me. What is it that's happening? Does Joe leave the office? I want an informal review. Tell me now. Does Joe leave the office? Yes or no? Does Joe leave the office? Yes or no? Tell me. Does Joe leave? I'll wait a second. There's a bit of a delay. Does Joe leave? Does Joe leave or does he say, I'm not leaving? Screw you. I'm not leaving. We got no. I don't think he leaves. I'm telling you right now. I don't think he leaves. He's gonna barricade himself in that White House. And the funny part about it, this is the irony. I think you've seen this. They kept saying that Trump is a guy who's not going to leave. They said Trump is not going to leave. Trump is the kind of guy who he won't leave. He'll hole up in the what? What are you talking about? He basically said, in 2016, I wanted to run, and you talked me out of it, and I would have beaten Trump. This is what he thinks. Or I would have done a hell of a lot better, but you put in Hillary Clinton, and I listened to you. And then you wanted to talk me out of 2020, and I fought you on that, and I won. Okay, I got 81 million votes. Well, we could argue about that one. You're not going to hear that argument. Anybody bring that up on Fox News anytime soon? Hell no. He says, I'm not leaving. I've spent my whole life doing the best. I've been a good soldier. I've run. I put up with crap. And I've had to mortgage my house 30 times. 30 times? 30? At least, or maybe more, 30, 40. I'm staying right here. And unless so far the polls are like 33%, whatever. And they're doing polling that are great. So he's getting some interesting information. So he's not moving. I love this. I absolutely love this. This is the thing. He has waited. This is his last stand. What are you going to do to me? Hunter? The hell with Hunter. Hunter's on his own. I'm tired of Hunter. All my life covering for his ass. Nobody's going to bother Hunter. Hunter's old. It's done. He's fine. What are you going to do to me? What are you really going to do? What? You're going to do like you did that guy? Huh? Noose on a bun? What are you going to do to me? I understand what's going on. If anything happens to me, this is Joe speaking of. If anything happens to me, what, is anybody going to be surprised? Oh, guess what happened? Guess what? Oh, Joe. Oh, yeah. Well, 81 years old. Look at what they did to Scalia. You buy that story? He's found dead at an Illuminati hunting lodge where they're wearing green capes and all this stuff. Remember that story? Where they found a pillow on his head. Wait. Did you hear this? On his head. And his wife's on the phone. Yeah, I do an autopsy on the phone. Yeah, he's fine. I was fat. They found a pillow on his head. Scalia. Yeah, well. Man. Oh, those are some stories. Those were wild. But hey, if they don't say anything, why should I? So if anything, God forbid, if Joe one day if Joe, like the parrot, ceases to exist, they're going to say, well, he had a good life at 81 years old. He didn't look too good at the end, too. Well, whatever. Nobody's going to investigate anything. No, believe me. But Joe figures, I know all this stuff, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go down in history. I'm going to leave them with a story that will be forever, ever. Wouldn't you love to sit down with Joe? Have a couple of drinks with him. Joe might not do that. But say, Joe, do you understand, Mr. President? Joe, because he is a president. They're writing the books. They've never seen this before. You might go down as the toughest son of a anybody's ever seen. The guy who took Corn Pop on, I'd be saying this to build up the guy who took on Corn Pop, the guy who told Mr. McFeely and whoever these people are, he makes these names he comes up with. And you know what Ali Vitale said? That's what she said. I mean, she was just, wow. Can you imagine playing poker? How about some great jobs, Ali Vitale, playing poker at the poker world championship, trying to read her tell. You give her the book. What, do you got something? No, not really. You're bluffing me. No, I'm not. She's got something. Fold. She doesn't have anything. She does this all the time. You sure? Yeah. All right. Enough of the Ali Vitale jokes. Did we have fun tonight, friends? Did we have fun? I had a blast. I had an absolute blast. You are a hoot. You know what I'm saying? You are an absolute hoot. The hootiest of them all. And I mean that sincerely. An absolute blast. I look forward to this like you cannot believe. I think to myself, what am I going to do? Do I have my stuff in a row? Am I ready to go? Are they ready? Every night we do this. I wonder if I don't think other people have this. I'm sorry. I've seen and there's some other great shows. Great shows or great people. But I don't see them having as much fun. Is it me or what? I think this is just fun. I think we have fun. There's a lot of laughs, a lot of mayhem, hijinks. You know what I mean? A lot of good, clean fun. So Judas Goat Barbecue, damn it, thank you. Clonus Steve Dream Killer, thank you. David Mudry, Georgia Ditch Doctor, thank you. Pilgrim Media, Edie Crowley, thank you. Pete Ow 812, New York Frank, we love him. Buddha, we love you. Thank you so much for that. Nathan Shield, everybody. Stan the Man Lippman. Remember, if you ever see Stan Lippman's name in any election, vote for him. Whatever it is. Daniel's traveling tonight on a plane. Thank you so much. And let me see. I hope Nathan Shield, I'm pronouncing it. Could be Skeel, could be Shiel. It's probably Shiel. And there she is with the fancy picture there. There's Lizzie Solak. Asunta Malone. Thank you so much. Mr. Rung, thank you. Table for two, Rung, table for two. Arlene Arruda, Mr. Brad, and Frank, 1957. Bless your heart. Bless your heart indeed. Now, a couple of things, my friend. A little bit. First, I told you before, and I'm going to tell you then, and I'm going to tell you again. Mrs. L is putting out some stuff right now that is so scary. And what they are doing to kids and how the stories will blow your mind. Blow your mind. What they're doing, and nobody is talking about it. Hang on a second. Don't let that bother you. Don't let that bother you. Let me see here. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Don't let that get you. I'm not going to get the phone. I'm not going to tell him you're here, by the way. I'm not going to tell him. Just a minute. Okay, here we go. First of all, big news, Cutting Room, October the 26th. Ladies and germs, the Cutting Room. That's the place. Those are the tickets. Love to see you. Everybody, we're all going to party. 10 days before the election. Think about that. 10 days before the election. Oh my God. And I don't want to say anything, but the Cutting Room is a great place. It's my favorite venue. Steve Walter, great people. And people walk in there and they think, is it okay to talk about Trump? Yeah, it's okay. Really? Yeah, it's okay. You will not believe the number of Trump fans. You can't believe it. This is another story. It's not Trump against Hillary. It's Trump against a guy who shouldn't be allowed, who can't drive a car. You can't write this, ladies and gentlemen. And also do me a great favor. This is Mrs. L's YouTube and her Twitter. Follow Lynn's Warriors, especially if you have kids and you want to find out and you hear the stories. The interviews are the most fascinating. So sad what people go through, the absolute horror. Absolute horror. And Nathan says, it's Sheil. Sheil. Okay, so I'm right. Right? Or Sheil. Okay, excuse me. I said Sheil. Sheil. I like that. Thank you so much. Nathan Sheil. All right, Sheil. Sheil. She be ill. That'd be interesting too. But then again, somebody might take offense at that for reasons that I don't understand. All right, dear friends, we love you. Thank you so much. Thank you for not what you are, but what you appear to be. Thank you for being this. Wasn't this fun? An hour and 22 minutes. Oh, that's a good one. Hello, everybody. Who was it? Whoopi Goldberg said, I don't care if Biden has a bit of an accident, anything. I would love to do this if ever I could go on the View. I would say, let me tell you something, Behar. And excuse me about that. Might be the coffee. I got something to tell you. Listen and listen good. Don't laugh at me. I'm serious. I know what I'm talking about. This country needs a serious and sober look at what's happening. Don't give me these cheap jokes. Don't do that. Don't go for the low brow. Act like an adult. Recognize that which is required of us as adults, as sentient, my new word today, noetic adults. There's something funny about this. You got that? There's something funny. Stop it. There's nothing funny. Who stepped on the duck? Carpet frog. Incoming. Fire in the hole. Hit the deck. All right, kids. I'm a child. I plead guilty. All right. We love you. Have a great and glorious day. See you tomorrow morning, my friends, 8 a.m. And until then, remember, make sure Lionel Nation, sign up. We got a bunch of videos that are dropping. Already new ones, too. For you to round out your day. Have a great and glorious time. Don't forget the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you.